All right, dude. I'm gonna start dinner now, so I will bid
What are you
you
making
adieu.
tonight?
I'm doing like a poached salmon, like a kind of like an Indian poached salmon with some chickpeas and minted peas as well, and raita.
Sounds good. Sounds really good. I
Yeah.
had Jen's mom's over, and Jen's mom wanted London broil. It was on sale at Publix,
Oh, nice.
so I just did a classic
Pot
London
roast.
broil. No, I did cast iron skillet.
Oh, nice.
It worked out good.
Right on. Yeah, I'm
Anyway,
doing a
enjoy yourself.
sirloin later this week.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
You know what happens when you knight a cow? They have to call him sirloin.
Funny. You know that actually the reason it's called sirloin is because it is a knighted piece of meat.
Really, they knighted it?
Mm-hmm. They love the
You
cut
can
so
fuck
much.
off with your fucking.
I'm not
culinary
joking,
facts.
bro.
I'm
That's
trying to. I know, but I was trying to make a joke. You ruined. You
it's
ruined
but
the
it's
shit
a
out of
real.
it.
It's real. Oh shit! I gotta get out of here. Let me leave.
I canceled it. All right. See you later.
All right, bye. Okay, guys. Okay, so I can smell these onions all the way over. Yes. All right. So we're gonna do a poached salmon. Let's get our water going first. We're doing some Indian-inspired stuff. So we're gonna need some ginger and garlic. Now, I've never done this next part. But the person's book that I read said this is what she does, so we will see. Basically, I'm just gonna cut up my ginger and garlic like this, although that doesn't look great. Cut these little bits off. So I want these. But she was mentioning how she uses all the skin because apparently that's where all the goodness comes from, the ginger. And I will say, if the recipes that I've used of hers are pretty solid. So, I'm gonna go on the side of she knows what she's talking about. So we're gonna cut up this ginger here, just like this. I'm not gonna do it for the garlic because although I'm going to eventually, but just not tonight. I was gonna do it beforehand, but I ran out of time. Prep-wise, we're just gonna cut up this ginger, and let's learn together. See what happens. All right, we got our little just a coffee grinder, but it's what I'm gonna use, and we're gonna puree this ginger, and we're gonna see what happens, because that's what she said she does. And who am I to judge? I don't know. I've never done this before. I've always peeled garlic in my culinary career, but I don't know much about Indian food. And by not much, I mean I know some very bare bone basics. I guess what you could say is like I could fake it to make it if I had to be in like a cooking competition. I had to make an Indian dish. Like I could bullshit it like that, but to where like it's gonna taste authentic, nah, I don't think we're at that level here. So now let me get this up and running. Let's go. Come on, Twitter or Twitch or whatever it is I'm on. Okay. All right. Just in case there's chat. All right, so we're just gonna kind of puree this. And we'll see how this goes. Let's see. So far, it's working all right. Ooh, I should get this up. That on medium heat. We're gonna start with our chickpeas because they're gonna take the longest. So one of the things that I do know about Indian food, that looks all right. Not the best, not the worst. Just puree that a little bit more. And you know what I'm gonna do? Because I'm not gonna use all of this. I'm actually doing this so that I have it on hand. I'm going to add a touch of vinegar. We'll use rice wine. This is just a little bit say what the acidity is. It's a little bit less than distilled, but I want to make sure this stuff stays preserved and doesn't go bad. We're gonna use just a little bit of vinegar in it. Doesn't really take much, honestly. So, but it's also gonna help us puree it, frankly. So let's get some of that in there. I want to make sure there's no like big chunks. See, there's, I guess those aren't. Oh, there's a chunk. Yeah. So the vinegar, obviously, adding some acidity, is gonna make it so that it doesn't go bad as fast in the fridge. Let's see where we're at. Let's see, did I? It fully pureed? Looks fully pureed to me. Doesn't smell vinegary. Let's grab a container to put it in. It smells fantastic, actually. Dude, I hope that this like works out nicely, because I will tell you what, not having to peel this fucking ginger would be amazing. So, I don't remember if I finished this thought, but one of the things that is very common in Indian food is basically using a garlic and a ginger paste. A lot of times they buy them together, because just about every dish uses both, it seems. Or many dishes. So, I mean, this is just how they sell it. So it's not like I'm, breaking news over here. All right, so we got our little container. Our garlic or ginger in here. What am I doing? Putting our ginger in here, and I am gonna actually do this for garlic later on. Maybe tonight. We'll see. Really gonna depend on how much time I have. And if I need to take up time while talking to y'all. Alright, so we got our ginger paste. That was really freaking easy. 100% doing that again. And it looks pretty good. Look at that. You can't even really see the skin. Well, I think that's working out nicely. Alright. This over here for now. So we got that. I'm going to take our garlic. I'm going to do a couple of things. So we got our poaching water going, which actually is already there. So let me turn this down, medium. And now what we're going to do... There's ginger all over the damn place. Clean off this cutting board here. All right. So, ginger's done. We're going to cut this garlic. Now, this is one of the few times when I'm not going to just slice the garlic. I actually do want it minced because of the cuisine that we're doing. Like I said, the Indian food, from what I can tell, I didn't even use all. It was still ginger. Gotta do more of it. It's fine. So Indian food, from what I can tell, has what was I saying? My brain is just garbage. They prefer the paste of the garlic and ginger, so that's what we're gonna try to come close to achieving, if not achieving. I just lost a piece of garlic. There is something wrong with me today. I will tell you what. I don't know what my problem is. It's not all there. Alright, so we got a garlic and some of this. I'm gonna throw some, yeah. Here, I'm gonna actually just put, because I need more butter. That's all. This is gonna be the butter. Oh yeah, this is already hot. So let's turn that down. So all right, we got our butter going. This is gonna be for our chickpeas. I turned it down because it was already too hot. We're gonna saute some spices first. Mainly our cumin. And then once our cumin is toasted, we're going to add our garlic and ginger. And then we're going to add basically our chickpeas and the other spices. I'll be honest, I'm kind of winging this. I don't really have a recipe. So we're just we're flying by the seat of our pants a bit here. That's fine. That's the fun of it, right? Although the way I am tonight, maybe maybe it's not the best choice, but no, we'll find out. Alright. So now we're actually gonna smash all of this garlic. I don't like hitting my knife like some people do because I've noticed that when you do that, the garlic goes fucking everywhere. Instead, I'll just use my upper body weight, smash it nice and controlled. So, let me rinse this out. I'll still puree the garlic because I really don't want to fuck around. I gotta be honest. I don't feel like chopping it. So let's just puree it here real quick. It'll only take a second. You gotta be careful when you're pureeing garlic because it can make it bitter. So no, it's not really pureed, but it's chopped. Kinda. Whatever. It's good enough. Not losing sleep over it. Alright. We got some garlic. I'm going to take out X's. That'll do. So, we got our water. That's boiling. We're going to add a little bit of garlic to this. I do want some garlic flavors in here. I'm just going to add a little bit, not a lot. The rest of this will go in the, what's it called? The chickpeas. So, I soaked a cup of chickpeas earlier. It's best to soak overnight if you can. If not, 2 hours is minimum, I would say. Now, like I said, what we're going to do now is we're going to take some cumin. We're going to toast this in the ghee. I'm going to add about half a tablespoon to a tablespoon. Now, cumin and coriander are the two main spices that you find, or two of the main spices that you find in Indian food. So there's, of course, tons of others, a plethora of spices, but it does seem like these are two that are consistently in it. So we got that toasting for the chickpeas. Already basically done. You know, I'll just finish this here. We got that toasting for the chickpeas. We're going to add some coriander, which is already toasted, but we're going to add a little bit here, taking it off the heat. So about a tablespoon of that. We're going to add some Kashmiri red, chili pepper. Or chili powder, I should say. Not a lot here, about a teaspoon maybe. Probably about like, yeah, right there, that's good. Okay, we're going to stir that in. Now, I'm going to let that bloom real quick in the oil. Does not need much time. Basically just like that. All right, now we're going to take the rest of our garlic. And I took half an onion and I sliced it. The person that I was reading who does it, she typically dices her onion, but there's really no need for it. You know, a slice is fine. It's not going to change it. So, all right. So now we're just going to saute that real quick. Already smells fantastic. It's a beautiful thing about Indian food. A little bit more oil, butter or ghee, whatever you want to call it. Some salt. Bring out some of the liquid of the onion. And we're going to let that cook until it's nice and soft and tender. All right, so that's going. We're going to add some ginger to our poaching liquid. All right. We're going to some toasted cumin powder. We already have here. Not like that. That's good. I'd call that about a tablespoon. Add just a little bit of coriander, again, just to kind of tie all these flavors together. Okay. We're going to add some wine. This is a French thing here. That's going to add a nice... fuck it, we'll just add all the wine. I don't think I'm using it for anything else this week. It smells good. Alright, some salt. We want this liquid to taste like... They say like when you're it in water for pasta, you want it to taste like the ocean. And there's really no difference with when you're poaching a fish. That's where we're going to get all of our seasoning. So, ooh, it's spicy. All right, so we're doing the same thing here. Now, the only other thing I'm going to do... Excuse me. Ooh. Lord have mercy. We're going to add the juice of 1 lemon. If you've ever had salmon or cooked salmon before, you know that lemon is a must for salmon. Or it's not a must, but it goes really nicely. The fattiness of the salmon and the spice, the sourness of the lemon goes really, they pair really nicely. Which is also why we're using wine. It gives it a nice tartness. So here we go. Juice and 1 lemon. And you could use sliced lemon if you want. The reason I'm not doing that is because I don't want the bitterness from the pit. So, alright. So our onions are getting there. In fact, I'd call that pretty good. So we're going to take a strainer. We're going to drain off our chickpeas. Okay. Going to add these in. And actually, I'm not going to cook them in this pot because I want them to be cooked, you know, in a relatively quick time. So, we have our chickpeas in here, deglazed nicely. I'm going to keep that on. I'm going to turn it up to high because I'm going to add a 1.5 cups of water. And then we're going to cook this in our Instapot. I know, I dirty multiple dishes. It's not ideal, but I did it. Or I'm going to. It's just these will cook so much faster. Instapot. It's stupid. So, all right. So we got these going in here. I'm gonna get that up to a boil here. Let me grab the Instapot thing. Insert, I should say. I don't need to boil it, honestly. That's plenty hot enough. Turn that down. We're gonna taste our poaching liquid. It's not gonna taste like fantastic, but it should still taste pretty damn good. More than anything, I'm tasting for salt. Actually, pretty good. All right, there we go. Pretty good. Yeah, you know, honestly, a little bit more salt. We need it to be, like I said, like the sea. It should taste like the sea. With cumin, lemon, wine. A lot of salt. There we go. Perfect. That'll season our salmon beautifully. Okay. We're going to add this to our Instapot container. Get that in a nice one, even layer. And we're going to cook this for, oh shoot, I forgot to look that up. I think it's like 20 minutes. Hang on. I'll tell you here in just a second. Ooh, make that 35 minutes. Not bad. We might be playing a game of Overwatch. Alright, well, that is what that is. Okay, so 35 minutes. Alright, set. Now, because that's going to take so long, I am 100% not cooking our salmon yet. And I could do the rest of the garlic puree, but that sounds really boring, so I'm not going to do that. What I will do... Oh, I forgot to add the turmeric. Sorry. We're going to add about 1/8 teaspoon of turmeric to the chickpeas. My bad. But we did not want to add that in the oil. So, I mean, that's why I didn't do it then. We do want a little bit in there. I never personally thought turmeric really had a flavor until I started, like, playing around with Indian food, and then I realized that how much flavor it has. Which is really stupid because even before I did Indian food, I was putting turmeric coconut milk in my coffee. And I mean, I know it has a flavor in the coffee, but I figured that was just an isolated thing. So that tells you how smart I am. Okay. Well, while that happens, we're gonna make our raita. So we have a basket cucumber. Honestly, it's better to use a seedless if you can. I don't have a seedless. So we're just gonna peel this guy here real quick. You can do it with a knife, you can do it with a peeler, it really doesn't matter. I think cumin smells fantastic and very floral. I don't think it really smells like armpits necessarily. Alright, so let's just peel this guy here real quick. I would have been faster with a peeler. I mean 100% would have been faster with a peeler, and also better. But this is what we're doing. I'm already committed. Alright. We're going to seed this because it is a basket cucumber. You know, Indian food is pretty diverse, but I can understand your opinion there, I suppose. Like I said, it does have a lot of like I said, it does have a lot of the same ingredients in each dish. Okay. So we've got our cucumber seeded. Now I'm just going to slice these into basically like juliennes. So we have to get our planks first, right? Just like that. And then once we have our planks, kind of line them up. I'm not looking for anything perfect here, so it's really not that important. I'm just going to kind of slice them like this. You can, the way that they usually say to do this is to like grate it. I usually use like a, what's it called? A mandolin. But we're just going to do it by hand. It's fine. Actually, I'm going to cut this a little bit smaller. So I'm going to cut these kind of like that. There we go. Yeah, I like the look of that. It's just, I think that might be racist there, Major. I'm not 100% positive, but I think it might be. So okay, so there we go. Quick. Juliennes. Then we're just gonna cut them a little bit smaller, just like I did before. Just like that. Beautiful. Honestly, that's probably enough. I probably don't even need the rest of this. So that's a big piece. Let me cut that down a bit. I have to cut my hand off. All right. I just heard our pressure cooker seal. That's good. So we should be pretty close to 35 minutes out now. Although we got to let it sit for like 10 minutes. Otherwise, it won't. You have to let all pressure cookers sit for a little while after they're done doing their thing. Just, I don't know, what you got to do. All right, so you got the cucumber for our raita. Now, raita is pretty simple. It's basically just cucumber, yogurt, cumin, and cilantro. Well, in true form, I forgot to buy cilantro. So we instead are going to do a mint raita, which I think will be just fine. So I have this beautiful mint that we just bought. It's called pineapple mint, for the fairly obvious, or what I'm assuming you can guess, Thought I cleaned this. Nope. Thinking and... I thought wrong, apparently. Okay, let me get all that dirt off. So it's called pineapple mint because it tastes kind of like pineapple and mint. I know, crazy, right? So I think this will be actually really good with this raita. I'm pretty excited about. I do wish I had bought cilantro because I do like my basic raita, but you know, we're trying something new today. I'm trying it with y'all. Never done this before. Didn't particularly want to do 2 mint things on this, but you know, it's the herb we got, and it's the herb we're gonna use. So, whatever. All right, so we're gonna do my favorite. If you were watching Sunday, we're gonna do a chiffonade. So I'm just kind of bringing this up into a little rolled up thing like that, and we're just gonna slice this really thin. I want to slice this thinner than I did on Sunday, though. I really want this, you know, those nice, confetti, paper thin strands, if I can. It smells freaking amazing, by the way. This mint. It smells so much like pineapple. It's stupid. Okay. Let's taste a little bit. A little bit more. Oh yeah. I think that's gonna be really good. Alright. We got our pineapple mint, our cucumber. Now the other thing you need in a raita is cumin. We're gonna add some cumin. I don't like that, I'd say. And then the last, certainly not least, we have our yogurt. In this spoon here real quick. Right, that should be good. We don't need a lot of yogurt. I don't particularly like a lot of yogurt. It's really there for the that cooling effect, which is also why I think the mint's going to be really good. And then that's that. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Don't really need too much more. We're going to add a little bit of salt. Oops. You have to season it, of course. And we're going to let this sit for a while. It doesn't need to. You could eat it fresh as is. And it'll last a couple of days in the fridge, but it won't last too long. So, let's see what this tastes like, though. Oh, yeah. That's good shit. A little heavy on the cumin. I'll probably back off on that next time. But it's pretty damn good. You don't really get the mint, I'll be honest. Kind of disappears in the whole flavor scheme of things. Alright, well, I guess we can prep the salmon here real quick. So, we have an end piece of salmon, a head piece, I should say, right near. I've already cleaned it and dried it, so it looks nice. But what we're gonna do, so when you're working with salmon, there's a couple of things. You see that? That's a pin bone, so we want to check, make sure there's no more pin bones. Typically, when you buy them from the store, they're all gone. They're usually right along this line here. So this is where the spinal cord touches, and then this is where like the little pin bones go into it. So right here. So we're just gonna make sure there aren't any there. You can feel them if you go. So like if you go against the I don't really know the waves of meat, I guess you can feel them stick out. Now they've removed all of them except for that one that I just pulled out. And then what I want to do is I want to cut. This is part of the belly. So I want to keep that, but I don't really want this, because when I remove the skin, it's not really going to be pertinent. We're going to cut that part of the belly off right there. That's basically trash. And then this is the back of the fish side here. So the head would be right here. And we're going to take off this cartilagey piece here. I'm just going to fillet that off just like that. All right, nice and clean. Now you can take the skin off before or after; it really doesn't make a difference. But I don't want those pieces there. Now, typically when you fillet a salmon, you want to do it as a whole piece of fish. So at this point, it's really dealer's choice. There's no good way to do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the head end because it's a little bit more narrow and less of a chance of me fucking up the whole salmon. So I'm just going to start by cutting down next to the skin and the meat. And I might actually be able to pull this off with my hand and not have to cut all the way down. So I'm literally just cutting between the skin and the meat like that, okay? So that's what I did. I just made that. Now let's see if I can just... I'm going to kind of work my thumb, my hand. I'm going to pull it gently. I'm not doing this hard. Pulling as gently as I can the skin off. So this is the easiest way to clean a salmon. You could use a knife. Oh, see? Now, you got to be careful with shit like that, though. I don't want to ruin this thing. Sometimes you got to, like... Sometimes you can kind of just use your thumb or finger to kind of push it off. Sometimes you can't. Let's see. Here, I'm going to try and get it. This is going nice and easy up here, so I'm just going to keep pulling here. It might look like I'm using a lot of force, but I'm really not. I'm trying to be as gentle as I can be. Okay, that's about as far as I'm going to get it with my hand. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my knife on the flat skin to kind of get the rest off. Now, again, if this was a whole piece of salmon, it would be much easier. So now I'm just kind of, yeah. So all I did was I just finished what I started. Just with the knife. Because I already messed it up here. I don't want to mess it up anymore. Alright, so this goes in the trash. And yeah, make sure you throw your trash out after you clean salmon. Because it smells like the worst garbage you ever had. One of the reasons I'm doing it tonight is because garbage pickup is tomorrow. So I don't have to smell that for however long until our next pickup. Alright. I'm going to try and get rid of these scales. You know, that's the other thing. I do love skin-on salmon. I don't like skin-on salmon for poached salmon. Although you could poach it and then remove the skin. That is definitely acceptable. So we're going to cut this in half. Right about there. And now we have two beautiful salmon portions. That's that. Let me grab my salmon container here. Clean it since I put it in the dirty shit. Alright. Go. Jesus, there's a dog behind me. Alright. We're gonna put our salmon back in here. We're just going to put it back in the fridge. You know, I really don't want to mess around with keeping fish out. So, alright. So that's in there. Let's get rid of this. This is all dirty now. Might clean it later. Actually, I'm going to clean it now because I'm going to need it later. Let's just clean this guy off. I mean, to be fair, like, salmon's pretty low, low on the danger scale, I guess you could say. Pretty safe stuff to eat. So, you know, even if we did cross-contaminate, it'd probably be all right. But at the same time, I don't really want our minty peas to taste like raw salmon. So I think more importantly, that's the reason why I want to make sure we're using cutting boards. So, okay. So we got our poaching liquid, which is done. That's going to sit there. And we got our chickpeas going. We got about 35 minutes on those still with the resting time included. And oh, I forgot. So one of the things I forgot to add, I have this beautiful, just drop some of it, what's called citrus thyme. I meant to just use regular thyme, but instead I bought citrus thyme. And the reason they call it that is, just like with the pineapple mint, it's citrusy. It kind of tastes like lemon, lime, and orange. Really good. We're going to add that in there and let it infuse. It's almost got like a, what's the word, like that, not citronella, but like that lemongrass, kind of lemony thing going on. So okay, so that's in there. We're gonna let that do its thing, and we'll play another couple games of Overwatch. And this will all be done, and then the poach is literally gonna take a couple of minutes. And the peas again, we're gonna saute them up real quick, maybe with some garlic. We'll do some ginger and garlic on that, and finish it with some mint and a little bit of butter. We'll call that a day. So cool. Chickpeas are done. Let this steam open up. Get this guy going again. All right. In an effort to use less pots and pans, we will do the peas in what we got the chickpeas started in. All right. So, that going. Gonna do some garlic, some ginger. Garlic. It smells so good. All right. We're gonna just slice the garlic. I'm not messing around with no puree this time. Let's get up here real quick. Got the pan heating up. Okay. Did I turn the heat up on the poacher? I did. Beautiful. Okay. Garlic. Slice. Done. Now, grab these chickpeas. Make sure they're where we want them. Pretty dang good. Smell pretty dang good. They got some sauce in them too. Look at that. Wasn't exactly expecting that. Fair amount of salt. Oh yeah, money. Yeah. So, I do feel like I could use something, but I think with the salmon will be pretty good. And I was gonna do this like a plate, but we might end up doing this kind of like a, I want to say a soup, but like a, I don't know what it would be, like a light kind of. They call it a nage when you use the poaching liquid of a fish. That's way too hot. And use it as like a serving sauce. So we might do that. See how it turns out. All right. Oh, that's way too hot. So we're just gonna add the peas. These are just frozen peas. Nothing crazy here. We're gonna cook them until they're cooked. And then we're gonna add this mint right at the end. I know. Crazy shit. So let's cut some more mint. That still is dirty. Not that bad. I was able to get most of it off. Alright. I did not cut myself. I thought I had for a second, but I did not. Way too hot. Way too hot. In fact, because it's so hot, add just a little bit of that, cool it down. That's better. Gotta cool some shit down every now and then. Calm down. Alright. I was hit my head on that. Alright, let's back up to down where we need. I'm just making. I think I should have taken a day off, I'll be honest. Alright. All good. Whatever. We're making it through this. We're gonna make it through. We're gonna power through it. Alright. These are cooking. Gonna let them cook for a little bit more. Gonna add some salt. Gotta be careful because I just added this, which had salt in it. Alright. Well, we're doing pretty good. Alright, let me get this. And some side dishes, because I think we're gonna do, like I said, I think we're gonna do kind of like a soup. Kind of. I mean, it's a poach, you know. I mean, I don't really know. I'll be honest, I'm not really sure what you would call it, other than poach. There's our raita on the side. All right, this is at poaching temperature. You can tell that it's where it needs to be when you see the stuff kind of moving in it. Now, we don't want to see ripples or anything. This is still a very delicate process that we're using. Now, try this. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to take some salmon, or our salmon, I should say. I'm going to just put it on the strainer here. Try and get as much of it on there as I can. And I'm just going to lower that in. And, almost goes in. All right, so that's not going to work. So we're just going to put it right in there. I'm just going to have to be real gentle. Hope that I don't, you know, completely bugger it. So we still want a medium rare salmon, just as you would cook it on in a pan or whatever. You know, we're not necessarily looking for a well cooked salmon. You know, I still want it nice and mid rare. So it's really only going to take a minute or two, I should say. Finding lid for my ginger. Guess I didn't have to melt that butter either. Back over here. I'll deal with this another time. Okay, so our peas are starting to change color, so these are basically done. We're going to taste it to make sure that they're seasoned. More salt. They're also changing color because we added an acidic liquid to it, so, you know, don't think too much into it. I'm not cooking the shit out of them. Oh, dude, that's really good. All right, mint in. Quick toss. Now, if you wanted to make this English, you could mush them, which is kind of what we're doing. We're kind of doing like an English, Indian, French kind of fusion shit, if you would. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. I love that mint in it. Oh. That's fits. All right, so let's start plating, because I think we're pretty much done here. Put my spices away. Kind of, I guess. Oh, but I have too many. I have so many freaking spices. All right. So let's get our chickpeas in the bowl. It's like this. little bit of that sauce, little saucy sauce. There. It's like that. I don't want any more chickpeas, I just want some sauce. There we go. So we got a little saucy sauce there. Gonna add some peas. We're not gonna add a ton of peas. I guess I could call this peas two ways with poached salmon. So there's our minted peas. Alright, so you see how this is bubbling here? That means that it's too hot. It's not what I wanted. Okay. Here's one piece of salmon. We're going to touch it. This is overcooked. So I overcooked the salmon. It's fine. It's fine. No worries. I'm not upset. It's fine. Salmon's a little overcooked, but that's alright. Saw a piece of salmon fall off it. Oh, it's tiny. Try it though. Try it, right? That's good. Right. The last thing we're gonna do. We're gonna take a little bit of this broth. Not a lot, just a little bit. Put it right over the top. It's called a naj, in case. Alright. And that's it. That is my poached salmon with mint peas, cucumber raita, and chickpeas. Let's see how it tastes. You clean the spoon. Alright. So the minty peas with a little bit of those sauces. That's good. That's nice. And it all kind of blends together, all those different broths and stuff. Chickpeas. Very nice. It's all, honestly, even though it's Indian, it's very delicate. Chickpeas have a little bit of spice to them. They have the heat from the Kashmiri. It's got some really nice. It's very delicate, honestly. For an Indian dish, this is very delicate. Let's see what this sounds like. Nice tartness, nice sourness. That sourness I was missing from the chickpeas. The salmon really brings that out. All right, now let's try some salmon with some mint raita. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh. That's super good. That is super good. I was gonna make roti for this, and I didn't because this was already enough of a chore. Wishing I did though. And of course, with the chickpeas, it's even better. Because that's probably the most Indian thing on this dish. Let's see what it's like. Oh yeah. Oh. That's what I should have done. I should have made yogurt mint mushy peas. Okay. We're going to do fish and chips someday soon. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a minty yogurt mushy peas with it. Oh, that's going to be good. Excited about that. All right. Let's try everything together. Those of you that don't like mixing things, I'm sorry. I fucking love it. Oh. Everything works beautifully. It's very delicate. I know I put a lot of things in there that are like super flavorful, but it's very delicate. It's very nice. Gotta say. It is very nice. Alright guys. Well, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back on Wednesday. I'll probably be doing a steak. And yeah, so I've done that before. This is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a sirloin. So yeah, but anyway, thank you so much for watching. See you Wednesday, 5:30. Cheers.